inside of this Ngakpa tradition, what do you think are like key principles, key teachings?
To transform the 5 root afflicted emotions.
What would be an advice for you for both, like partnership and raising children, because you have the experience?
Give time to your body to heal. And one of the best way to do is at least sleep 8 or 9 hours.
So, thank you, Rinpoche, for
So,
agreeing to this interview. Is it okay if let's sit like this?
Guru Pema si de hon, Changchub Sem Chok Rinpoche, Ma Kya Banam, Kye Kyurchi, Kya Bai Nyamba Me Bai, Kone Kondo Pewara Sho. Okay, Mr. Philip.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for agreeing to this interview.
Lasso.
I have a couple of questions, as I said, and maybe we can just look into them. Maybe we don't answer all of them, but that's okay. So the first one is, could you maybe to start share your background and how you became like interested, or how you got into this tradition, the Ngakpa tradition?
And how I got into this is my father was a Ngakpa Lama. And his job was to do pujas for people, Tibetan people, especially in Dharamsala. And he was also a great funeral master, conducting Tibetan Buddhist funeral. And in my Tibetan tradition, it is the duty of the eldest or oldest son to take over the father's job. That was the reason.
So that's how you got into that.
Yes, got it.
And as I said in the beginning, before we started, that many of the teachers are monastics.
Yeah.
And maybe you could explain the difference between the Ngakpa tradition and other traditions in Buddhism.
Yeah, in during in 8th century, when the Buddhism was first time introduced to Tibet by great Nalanda abbot Shendarakshita and Guru Pema Sambhava. At the time, with King Trisung Deusen, 3 of them, they have divided the Sangha into 2 categories. One is known as without hair, with monk's robes.
Yes.
One is with hair and wearing white dress. And at the time, both were treated with equal respects. In fact, I think both of them were offered 7 families to support their livelihood at the time. So that's how they started. So I say one is celibate, one you can say celebrate. Sounds very funny, but it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to basic 5 precepts, Buddhist precept is exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And later becomes, But having said that, the best Ngakpa are those Ngakpa who are complete celibate and who are Gelong. Like the great Tokdens in Tashijong, Drukpa Kagyu. They have huge dreadlocks, very long. They dress up white dress, wearing this shawl, but they're pure Gelong. So the best actually Ngakpa is those who are celibate, like that. Yeah.
And why the long hair?
Oh, that's a good question. It has 2 types. Where if you receive Che empowerment, either Machig Labdun Che Wan Kandu Goche, which is in the Patamba Sangye tradition, or Machig Trema Namo in Dinjum Lingba's tradition. In the Che tradition, you get the empowerments of 13 different attires. You understand attires? 13 different possessions, or the way, attire or the style Ngakpa or Ngakma should have. So out of these 13s, one is to keeping long hair. Within the long hair, there are two categories of empowerment, keeping long hair. One is dreadlock, one is loose hair. In my case, I've taken the empowerment to keep loose hair. So in the dreadlock, and the meaning of keeping the dreadlock is letting the hair grow in its natural way, without grooming it, without making it into certain style. Let it grow as it is. Then after a while, it becomes dreadlock. Now I know people pay lots of money to get this artificial dreadlock, but the Ngakpa's Indian sadhus, it's all natural.
Yes.
So let the hair grow in its natural way, that is the dreadlock. And the purpose of this is so that at some point in our practice, the practitioner will able to let the mind also be in its natural state without making it better or worse. Like a dreadlock.
Okay.
And that's the true meaning of dreadlock,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So each attire has a deeper meaning. It's not just kind of a show off or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So inside of this Ngakpa tradition, what do you think are like key principles, key teachings that you
The
should
key
apply
teaching
to
in order
nowadays?
to qualify yourself as a Ngakpa, I've asked my very great Ngakpa Lama called Shelpa Lama, and he is like a 8 or 9 generation Ngakpa tradition. And I asked him, what is the meaning of Ngakpa? And he said the true meaning of Ngakpa is to transform the 5 root afflicted emotions, 5 root poisons, such as ignorance, anger, hatred, desire, attachment, jealousy, ego, or the pride, into 5 wisdoms. So whosoever is able to transform 5 poisons into the 5 best medicines, known as the wisdoms, that is the real meaning of Ngakpa or Ngakma.
And what can people in the modern world that maybe are not that connected to the traditions learn from that tradition, the rich teachings
I
of
think one of the best things they can learn, or we can learn from this tradition, is that instead of worrying too much of whatever is happening or talking about it too much, let the things be in their natural state. Then they take care of itself, like emotions. Let the emotions be in their natural state. Then what happens? Then they just disappear or get self-liberated by themselves. Yeah. But if you again try to make it better or worse or modify, the more modification, the more makeups, the more complication we will experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So the next question is again regarding the Ngakpa tradition. As far as I know, there are a lot of shamanic parts in it, and maybe you could elaborate a little bit on that.
The most of the Ngakpa shamanics are secret.
Yes.
We can't elaborate much.
Okay. Sure.
But as a Ngakpa, we are expected to say control weather.
Yeah.
And in Tibet, it's not much to stop rain. It's more to stop hail or hailstones from destroying crops and making rain.
Yes.
Then catching ghosts and dealing with craziness. When someone goes crazy, we don't say that person has gone crazy. We say that person is possessed
Yes.
by spirits. So it's our job to take that out.
Yeah.
And then you have seen today the church healing.
Yeah.
That's part of the Ngakpa
Yeah. Yeah.
ceremony.
Yeah.
So in a way, we act a bit like what you can say psychotherapist or psychotherapy in
That's
the
what
West.
I thought. Yes.
But in our job, we don't ask any questions.
Yeah.
So it's really like a non-judgmental ceremonies.
Yeah.
Like today, when I didn't ask any question to anyone.
Yeah.
Your background, why you are coming, why do you need, what is the goal? Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm requested, I've done it, that's it.
Yeah.
And then people tell me something happened, it's okay, I'll listen. If not tell, I won't be following up.
Yes. Sure.
Up that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing, I think most Ngakpas, very few Ngakpas like Gelong, most Ngakpas have family, wife, kids, children. So I guess that many of our problems in day-to-day life is connected with our family relationship and struggling to bring up kids, things like that. So maybe Ngakpas may have, because of their experience with the real life, may have a more, you can say, practical advices and suggestions and ideas
Yes.
to deal with this day-to-day life
Yeah.
problems that we face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And that's something I'm really interested in as well, because you have a family, a child or children.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
4 children.
4 children. Yeah.
Like when I saw your baby,
Yeah.
my first instinct, instinct is to hold the baby in my
Yeah.
lap,
Yeah.
as I have done with my son,
Yes.
with
Yeah.
all my 4 children.
Yeah.
I've done that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's very natural,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
to do that.
What would be an advice for you for both, like partnership and raising children, because you have the experience?
I think main thing is patience. When one is shouting, screaming, angry, one must keep quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Yes, otherwise it's like throwing kerosene in the already fire.
Yeah.
It will only become bigger.
Yeah.
And we all go through ups and downs. And especially if the wife is not in good mood, the husband must keep quiet. Because, you know, the wife breastfeeding, she can hardly get sleep in the night, you know. Always, every half an hour probably waking up to make sure the baby is fine. So we must remember that. And really, we are the ones who should be practicing patience,
Yeah.
the husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really practice patience and just keep the interest of the family before our own ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. And sometimes you may not disagree, but still just say, yes, it's okay at the end. Just to maintain the harmony and the peace, and just keep in mind how much the wife is suffering, you know, for the family.
Yeah.
Often in Tibetan, not only looking after babies, but cooking, looking after the husband, cleaning, shopping, so many responsibilities they have without any formal salary. Yeah. So this we should be aware. Yeah. And then sometimes it's just good to keep quiet, then reply.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other times, of course, it's good to reply, otherwise there will be no clarification.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then again, something, if people really want to have a deep spiritual practice, but at the same time they have a worldly life, like family and children, what's your advice? How do you manage family, job, worldly life, but at the same time a profound practice?
Well, the purpose of prostration, lighting a butter lamp, offering flowers, doing mantras, visualization, sitting quiet, doing prayers, going on pilgrimage, the purpose is to develop, to cultivate kindness, kind heart, warm-heartedness, you know. So if you are kind, if you can develop warm-heartedness with your family to start with, that is the practice, you know. And rest all is to come to that point.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yes.
So, as Dalai Lama says, my religion is very simple. I don't need temples. I don't need this. My religion is kindness. Yeah. And he said, be kind wherever it is possible. And then Dalai Lama says, it's always possible to be kind. Yeah. So if you are kind with yourself, with your family, that is the Buddhist practice.
Yeah.
That is the spiritual accomplishment.
Yeah.
Flying in the sky is not a spiritual accomplishment. Even the mosquitoes can fly. Butterflies can fly. Flies can fly. Birds fly. Aeroplanes can fly. It's nothing. And swimming, fish can swim whole life in the ocean. What is there about the miracle? I think the true miracle is when you can practice kindness, compassion, understanding, patience, forgiveness, and have an attitude saying it's going to be okay.
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes I'm not wise enough to make daily life my practice, so I need some formal practice that's guiding me.
Of course, we do need formal practice, which I described briefly this morning, the 4 immeasurables, for mental training, you know, until it becomes natural part of you, until it becomes your habit. You understand?
Yeah.
We do need, in the beginning, formal practices. This is where it is beneficial to get some formal teachings, do formal practices. But if you are good with your family, that is the Buddhist practice. It's no separate practice. If you look at the stories of 84 great Indian Mahasiddhas, some of them are cloth weavers, some are farmers, some are carpenters, some are hunters, some are butchers, some are kings, some are scholars like great Nagarjuna. They all had a regular job. So outside, they are ordinary people. Inside is Buddha. You understand? So they are a good example. Some are drunkard. Some are fishermen like Telopa. You know? Outside is fishermen. Inside is Buddha. So this is a good example. So you can be IT or you can be anyone working in the bank or whatever, or in the chef. But inside can be Buddha, you know. Inside, actually, according to my tradition of Dzogchen, we are already Buddha. We have just somehow forgotten it or got disconnected with it for the time being. Then through so-called practices, different methods, you again get connected with your primordial state of mind. You again discover your true nature. Which Buddhists would say Buddha nature mind, which Chögyam Trungpa says your fundamental goodness, your basic goodness.
Okay, thank you. Another question, because it isn't monastic, what role does Sangha play in the Ngakpa tradition?
Well, I guess, I'm not sure. I think originally the whole idea of Ngakpa is to be independent from structures, I guess. Like yogis, like sadhus, you know, in India. I think originally Ngakpas are not supposed to spend even more than 3 days at one place. Keep on wandering aimlessly without expecting where you're going to sleep, who's going to be your companion, where you're going to get food, nothing. Just keep on going without any aim, like wild animals. I think that was the original concept of Ngakpa tradition. Now it's becoming slowly kind of a Ngakpa kind of an institution, you know. Yeah. So, but in Tibet, it's very much used to be a father to son thing. Yeah.
So there's not a real, as you said, not a real I forgot the word. Institutional sangha in that case.
Although in Amdo called Repkong, I think when His Holiness Degu Khyentse Rinpoche gave Rinchen Tenzo, I think it was recorded there were about 2,000 Ngakpas attended the Rinchen Tenzo.
Yeah.
And you see there now on YouTube, and sometimes you see that hundreds, maybe thousands, Ngakpas doing days and days of Drupchen or Drupche ceremonies.
Oh wow!
This you will see.
Yeah.
They're known as Amdo Repkong. Amdo Repkong. Yeah.
Oh wow! I have to look into that.
Amdo Repkong. Even both men and women, Ngakpas and Ngangmas.
Yeah.
And also little Ngakpas are also there.
Yes?
Yeah.
What's the youngest age somebody can become a Ngakpa?
There is no such fixed things.
Yeah.
In my lamas, for example, Gomba in Tibet, he said he used to have, in Tingri area, Shopa Lama, they used to have 8 Ngakpas in his Gomba. And each one had a job. One was a Thangka painter, one was a carpenter, one was tailor, another was a farmer, another was something. And they get together, do the ceremonies. If the father dies today, the oldest son has to come tomorrow.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, like my Lama's son told me, when he was 8 years old, he started going with his father.
Yeah.
To conduct the pujas. And that's how he learned.
Yeah.
There is no such thing called formal Ngakpa teaching.
Yes.
It's you learn through observation and imitation, and it's kind of a lifelong thing. Yeah.
So that's why you're...
And there's no examination, there's no certificate.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. The society will know you.
Yeah.
Then they accept you. Yeah. It's like that. It has been like that so far.
Yeah, makes sense. So that's why your son is accompanying you?
That's one of the main reasons.
Yes. Yeah. So I can see that he's very like devoted to the practice and already doing so many things and attending everything and supporting everything. How did you raise him to get into the practice?
Not really raise. I asked him to come with me.
Yes.
For last now 4 years nearly, and also come to attend the pujas. I also took him to big empowerments from Ramjam Rinpoche, from Shambhakara Lamasu and our root Lama in Tsopema, Jigme Namgyal Rinpoche. So I took him with me, and then slowly he gets this what we call interest and pakchak. Pakchak is like habitual tendency.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then slowly it may become part of him.
Yeah. And then the hair will grow.
The hair may grow, but my father never had hair.
Oh, really?
He shaved like you.
Yes.
Because he said it's too itchy.
Yeah. So you don't have to.
No, not necessary. But true Ngakpa is, as I told you, transforming 5 poisons into 5 wisdom.
Yes.
And my father, although no hair, everybody knows he was really great Ngakpa.
Yeah.
And the whole Tibetan society invited him to do ceremonies, especially to read the Tibetan Book of Death when somebody dies, and to preside over the funeral and the cremation of the dead bodies. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I think we covered most of my questions. I mean, I could go on longer, but maybe one final question: if there is, like, one piece of wisdom or advice you would like to give the people viewing this, what would that be?
I would say whatever you do physically, say verbally, think mentally, feel in your heart, take it easy. Take it easy. And in the West especially, I think it's good to slow down activities, you know. We have a saying in Tibetan, as long as we breathe, there's no end to activities. Yeah. And we have a saying in Tibetan, the sun will shine tomorrow also.
Yeah.
So at some point we must take care of this guest house, you know. Yeah. This poor body.
Yeah.
The body has limitations at how far it can go. Our mind is limitless. So therefore we must take care of our body, our speech, our mind, and give time to your body to heal. And one of the best way to do it is at least sleep 8 or 9 hours. Really good sleep, 8-9 hours.
Yeah.
And as His Holiness Dalai Lama says, all senior Tibetans says, go to bed early, get up early morning. Yeah. And keep your life as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Especially the eating.
Yeah.
And avoid smoking, drinking alcohol, and you should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, if you avoid even these two,
Yeah.
this I'm not talking from the religious point of view, in general, through my own experience.
Yeah.
If you give up these two, you will surely live healthy, live long, even without getting long life empowerments. But if you do this and getting many, many long life empowerments, how it is possible? I mean, it's not possible. What we are wishing and what we are doing is completely opposite. Yeah. So take it easy, and the time heals, as I was talking with them during the lunch. Be patient. As the time goes by, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, things will steadily become clear and will settle down. So take it easy. Take it easy, And for that you need to have a certain degree of flexibility, a sense of accommodation, and an attitude of it will be okay no matter what, So this is my kind of a message. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
That's
Dr. Chain.
That's all. Very good.
Guizandoji chanje menjene tinjen sawe lama yenjengin rowe tendo melam kang taba tedak tamjen dak robara sho pama simjen tamjen dedan de yurji nyendo tamje tado tongwar sho chanju semba kando sar shukba teda guingi melam robara sho ugen rembo chela sewande gegen paje minjunji tingen samba roba Chodan tu mongo du zedes omani peme hungri omtare tutare ture soha jizen pamandre ma kekeno jigdan dongal kule kyabdo. Okay, danke schön.
Thank you so
Bitte
much.
schön, sehr schön, wunderschön.